So the internal implications, how the various GCC countries have adapted to the challenges posed by the Arab Spring. One of the aspects of the Arab Spring was the extent to which social media played a huge role. It wasn't the only role, obviously, and you don't want to overestimate the impact of social media. At the same time, it cannot be ignored. And social media is by and large driven by youth. And the GCC has, like other Arab countries, a huge youth bulge. I think in Saudi Arabia, 30% of the 70% of the population is under the age of 30, and those figures are replicated pretty much across the GCC. So there was a recognition, particularly within the Saudi ruling family, that, and there's a saying, if you want things to remain the same, you're going to have to change things. So if the ruling families want to retain their control, there was a recognition that there had to be some change. And I think most dramatically, this has occurred in Saudi Arabia. Mohammed bin Salman, the deputy crown prince, the younger and favorite son of King Salman, a very powerful figure, defense minister. He runs virtually every ministry except for the Ministry of the Interior. He has brought forward this plan, Vision 2030, which calls for fundamental economic reform in Saudi Arabia. And in order for that plan to succeed, he's going to have to deliver on two very key fronts, which are expectations that young Saudis have. The first is housing. There is a terrific shortage of affordable housing in Saudi Arabia. And when you think of how much wealth there is in that country, the fact that young Saudis cannot get on the property ladder is an indictment of the ruling family. The second thing is a lack of meaningful employment. And this is true across the Gulf. I've spoken to young Gulfies who said, you can get a job in the public sector, you can get a job in the government. You go in the first day and they point you at a desk and say, there's your job. It lacks any meaning. It's very discouraging for these young people who want to have an impact. They want to be involved. They want to engage. So it's important to create meaningful jobs. Now, what Mohammed bin Salman is suggesting is that he's going to empower the private sector. He's going to create new jobs where meaningful jobs, where those jobs didn't exist. This is a huge challenge because, of course, the private sector itself is not free from the influences of the ruling family. The ruling family in Saudi Arabia is huge. Every royal has his finger in any number of pies. Again, change in such a situation would be very difficult. And if Mohammed bin Salman is going to carry it off, and he's creating lots of enemies along the way, he's going to have to bring young Saudis with him. Now, to a certain extent, he's done that. He himself is 30 or 31 years old. But they're waiting, and I think he has this window of opportunity. But again, he must deliver on housing and on meaningful jobs.